Okay, I just want to make this little video after the Tuesday class, October 13th, to show you how far we've come in the first 4 or 5 classes by just doing a sort of screen capture overview of all the different topics. So if you'll just follow me as we go down the page here. Um, so in the first week in October, we talked about Hofstede. And I mentioned that the reason why that was interesting was he gave us 4 terms which we could use to understand large companies and how they make decisions about things. I did that in the class October 7th and 8th with Wednesday and Thursday, but because the internet connection was slow, couldn't do it last week, so we did it October 13th with the section on Tuesday. We also talked about these world maps, and if you click on the map, you can see the larger edition. I spoke about that in class. I made a video of me talking about what I just said. And that video is right here. It's quite short, but that's all the comments about, North America, Canada, US, the land, the sunlight available, the cold north, all those kinds of things. Then we talked about North America versus Europe, which a lot of students found kind of interesting to compare the two. The fact that this is all one language, mostly English, Spanish here, some French there. Whereas when you go to Europe, 65 million people here, 68 there, 84 here, 5 different languages right there. If you want to sell in the European market, you can't just print it in English or just English and French. It's got to be at least German, because there's 84 million Germans, there's 60 million Italians, and so on, right? So that was something that we had to discuss as well. Then we also talked about the world population, and I made some discussion about the big difference between India and China is both equal population, but India has multiple different languages, but most people speak English, whereas China is mostly Mandarin, and still struggling to get a large percent of the population fluent native speakers of English level for doing business. Then we started talking about, I didn't mention the Europe population map in class for Tuesday, but I did talk about it in Wednesday and Thursday class. This also is a very quick little discussion here about the most populated countries in the world, the 3 big ones: China, India, United States. And then you've got all these ones here, which are large population, but they also have a large rural population, like in Pakistan and Nigeria and Brazil, and also a large population of lower income people, like it is in Bangladesh as well, which affects their ability to buy and import products. Okay. Then some comments directly from the USMCA website, and this USMCA website, just read the first couple of pages there. Then we talked about Canada-US relations, and I hadn't had a chance to show the video in class, but you watch that on your own. It's very interesting, made by my students many years ago. We didn't get a chance to talk about Canada-US relations in the Tuesday section. It says here, did October 13th, but we actually didn't get to that. So make sure you click on that link and watch it for the Tuesday class. Very funny video of me talking about Canada-US differences. We didn't have a chance to talk about the coronavirus. We got into ethics. This is a very long section involving many different things, specifically also corporate social responsibility. What is the obstructionist and defensive stance and accommodative stance? And I talked about blood diamonds, apartheid, and also ethics affected by the 6 environments, which is a very good thing to watch and make some comments on your own. I also talked a little bit about stakeholders. This is actually a short video, explains where that came from in the mining and exploration industry, where people actually used to pound a wooden stake into the ground and mark it. That's where that word comes from. And it's also business slang used in business today. Then we also talked about Canada's fight against foreign bribery. I didn't get into this report here, and I didn't have a chance to talk about SNC Lavalin. Next class, the 3rd week in October, we'll get into viral marketing, which is very interesting. Please look at this section right here and go through all those different terms. That's a big part of international business. And also talking about some things to do with globalization of customers. So the reason why we talk about viral marketing is, remember 2 classes ago we talked about globalization is not just for manufacturing, but it's on how you see customers around the world being very similar. That's created because of Vyral Marketing. We'll talk about grizzly bear stories in that sort of context. And these are some fascinating viral videos that are now quite famous. And then we'll also get into the 4 types of marketing opportunities. Now, in addition, in this class, I also mentioned the assignment coming up, the video assignment, which is due in November. Section B, these are the topics that we have so far. Section on Wednesday, these are the topics we have here so far. And the Thursday section, I only had 3 groups tell me what there's so far. And then if you go to the bottom of this page, below here, I've sort of redone and in more detail what is the global business marketing plan that you're going to do at the end of the course. So I want you, before you ask me to tell you about it, I want you to read these words here, because this explains the context of what you're doing. So now you won't have any worry about how much stuff is going to go into the plan. I will discuss that in class next week. And again, the grading structure there, which reflects that. Okay, and also I want to make sure that you had reminded yourself to look at these videos about reading the newspaper, getting rich in the stock market, learning about an industry sector, why business magazines are important. This one also on earning class participation marks in many different ways, and also some important things about handing in group reports. Okay, so I think those things pretty much cover everything we did. And always when you click on this page, click on refresh or reload so you get the most up-to-date version. These videos also were made in March 2020. They apply to the course this year, so if you haven't seen these 10 videos, you should. I hope that's helpful.